everybody. My name is Miss Alicia. I normally work at the Capital Branch of the Milwaukee Public Library. So we are at home, and while we are at home, we really miss you guys, seeing you at the library, but we wanted to continue to be a resource for you while we're at home. And while I'm at home, I'm with my daughter Ariana, and I wanted to share one of our favorite book series. It is Ivy and Bean. It's by Annie Barrows and is published by Chronicle Books. I just want to say an extra special thank you to Chronicle Books for letting us read this series to you. And my plan was to actually read a chapter a day. So if you like it, just keep watching. So why don't we get started? So, all right, Ivy and Bean. Okay. So, no thanks. That is Bean. We'll see. Before Bean met Ivy, she didn't like her. Bean's mother was always saying that Bean should try playing with the new girl across the street, but Bean didn't want to. "She's 7 years old, just like you," said her mother. "And she seems like such a nice girl. You could be friends." "I already have friends," said Bean. And that was true. Bean did have a lot of friends. But really, she didn't want to play with Ivy because her mother was right. Ivy did seem like such a nice girl. Even from across the street, she looked nice. But nice, Bean knew, is another word for boring. Ivy sat nicely on her front steps. Bean zipped around her yard and yelled. Ivy had long, curly red hair, pushed back with a sparkly headband. Bean's hair was black, and it only came to her chin because it got tangled if it was any longer. When Bean put on a headband, it fell off. Ivy wore a dress every day. Bean wore a dress when her mother made her. Ivy was always reading a big book. Bean never read big books. Reading made her jumpy. Bean was sure that Ivy never stomped in puddles. She was sure that Ivy never smashed rocks to find gold. So here is Ivy with her dress and her big book. There is Bean reading a book upside down.
Oh, Bean.
She was sure that Ivy had never once in her whole life climbed a tree and fallen out. Bean got bored just looking at her. So when her mother said she should play with Ivy, Bean just shook her head. "No thanks," she said. "You could give it a try. You might like her," said Bean's mom. "All aboard! Next train for boring is leaving now," yelled Bean. Her mother frowned. "That's not very nice, Bean." "I was nice. I said no thanks," said Bean. "I just don't want to, okay?" Okay, her mother sighed. "Have it your way." So for weeks and weeks, Bean didn't play with Ivy. But one day, something happened that changed her mind. So here's a picture of Bean yawning because she's so bored. That's her mom talking to her. That is the end of chapter 1. So if you liked this chapter from Ivy and Bean, there's a couple of other series that you might want to try. Judy Moody, if you haven't heard of it, by Megan McDonald is really good. Also The Princess in Black, good series by Dean and Shannon Hale. And actually those are both available you can use our curbside pickup service. So you can call the library and get things picked up at some of the central library and some of the branches. Or you can try Hoopla or Libby. For sure, Ivy and Bean if you wanted to read it by yourself. Or Judy Moody is available online on Hoopla and the Libby app. And also, we have lots of other great programs if you liked listening to this. We have some great things happening. You can check out our web calendar on mpl.org. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So thank you so much for joining us today, and hopefully you'll see us tomorrow for another chapter of Ivy and Bean. Thanks.
Bye.
See you later.